coming through there, honey? What is taking so long?
Well, I can see that Mike's not the only one who's excited.
When's Zachary gonna get here?
He's already here. Didn't you hear him say it on the loudspeaker?
Takes a little time to get off the plane first.
Hold this for a sec, somebody. How do I look? Do I look all right?
You look beautiful.
Can I go on a plane someday?
Listen, as far as I'm concerned, nobody in this family is getting more than 6 feet away from me for a...
Hey!
So much.
Well,
Welcome. We missed you.
hi, Amy. Not half as much as I missed all of you.
Well, it is good to have you home again.
Fellas, hey, how are you? What a homecoming, all of you.
Yeah, the whole family's here. Except Corky. Mom Lesley said he had to stay home.
He should have stayed home, too.
Oh. Hi there. You remember me?
Oh, hey, welcome home, Doc.
Oh, well, good. I was beginning to think that you were not too concerned with my arrival.
I got a little thrown off with this.
I thought you couldn't wait for him to get here.
Yeah, well,
Well, sounds like you got something pretty heavy there. What is it?
take a look at this. They call this justice.
All he sat in jail. How this come about?
We found out about it yesterday. Tiffany came over to the hospital and told us.
Yeah, Holly was supposed to get immunity.
Ramsey backed out on his deal, the fink.
Can we please go?
Guy, in just a minute, okay? What's this about a deal?
Well, Bert promised Luke that she wasn't going to be prosecuted.
Yeah, because she helped him get the money back.
Never trust a cop, I'm telling you. Never trust him.
It's not Bert's fault. It's the DA who's charging her.
Accessory to murder.
Yeah, he's gonna blow this town apart when he finds out.
How has Luke been taking over?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I imagine he's having fits.
Yeah, he'd probably take her out of there, probably like Alcatraz or
Would you
something.
stop? There's a bail hearing this morning. Joe's a good attorney. He'll get her out.
Hey, you guys, there are other things going on in this world. Like, isn't this supposed to be a happy homecoming?
Amy, thank you. That's very thoughtful, very nice, but we are all naturally concerned.
Yeah. How's Jeff doing?
Jeff's fine. In fact, all he needs now is a good long rest, and Carolyn is bound determined he's going to get that.
Well, I'm glad you could be there for them. But I'm even gladder you're home with me.
So am I. Before we get into important things, I see everyone standing here waiting. Why don't we go out to breakfast? Or, by any chance, Alice, do you have some of your super something or other prepared at home? Hmm?
Yes, I do. But you're gonna have to wait for lunch.
Lunch, you know what I ate in the plane? It was a roll, one roll about that big.
Oh.
I was thinking maybe some of your famous whole wheat pancakes.
Oh, now, don't blame Alice. It's my fault. You have an appointment.
I have a what?
Can we please go? Corky is gonna be mad.
I'm so sorry, sweetheart. But if we don't go, the mayor's gonna be mad.
Mayor, wait a minute. What is going on here?
Well, it's D-Day for the sports center. The council is gonna meet today to see if we're gonna get the money.
And the mayor called you to tell you about that.
No, actually, I called him rather early this morning. In fact, I woke him up.
You called John?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just figured that it was worth one last-ditch effort to try and convince him that we deserved that money. Goodness knows we've tried our best, so now it's your turn. And as soon as I knew that you were going to be on the plane, I just called John and asked him if he could talk to you today, and he's meeting you in his office.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that. But what am I gonna tell Corky?
That he's gonna have wonderful scraps after lunch. Look, we're gonna go on home and wait for you there.
Oh, okay.
Darling, you really did that for me.
Yeah. I know it's kind of an about-face, right? Well, I figured if there was even the tiniest chance that you could really swing this thing, you should have it.
Thank you.
You can thank me later. Now we have to go to the mayor's office.
Well, if we are going, that's fine, but only if you go with me.
Can I come too?
Why don't you hang out with me today, buddy?
Okay.
Excuse me, we are all going home. So Blackie, get Dr. Weber's bag and let's go.
Mike, would you do that? It's not a very heavy bag. Could you carry it?
I'll help.
No, I got it myself.
Blackie, do me a favor. You come with us, okay?
Me? Why do you want me to come with you?
Well, I just have an idea. A very interesting idea, please. You come. Oh, we all ready? Hmm?
I've been ready for weeks. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Lesley?
Again.
John, thank you. I really appreciate the time.
You can thank your wife for that. She's a very persistent woman, and I have to admit, at 6 o'clock in the morning, my resistance is low.
I really am sorry I woke you.
I'm not. I do some of my best thinking early in the morning. I'm on your side, you know.
John, I appreciate everything you've done.
Don't appreciate it too much. I'm only one vote. We have to convince the others.
Yeah, well, that's why I brought this young man with me. He's a very important, integral part of the sports center. You don't mind, do you?
Of course not.
You remember him. This is Blackie.
Yes, of course, Blackie.
How you doing, Mr. Mayor?
How are you?
All right.
I told Rick that the sports center's fate at the moment rests in the hands of the city council.
No, not anymore, Lesley. The question of the sports center has been relegated to a special committee composed of Mr. Friedman, the comptroller, Mr. Withers, the vice mayor, and myself. Now, you already have my vote. It's the other two you have to convince.
Thanks, John.
Now, while we're waiting, could I get you some coffee or tea?
No, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Do you have, like, maybe a soda or something?
Well, as a matter of fact, I think we do. I'll
Sure.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
This place gives me the creeps.
Just relax. It'll all be over in a few minutes.
Yeah, I heard that before. My dentist told me something like that. I didn't like the sound of it too much. Why don't you guys just let me go? I feel like a fish out of water in this
Hey.
place.
All I want you to do is say a couple words today. No more.
Okay. Hello. Goodbye.
That is not what I had, young man. That's not what I had in
You
mind.
said a couple words.
Would you hang loose, John?
All right. I'm
Loose.
hanging loose.
Loose.
I'm loose.
Blackie, should I get you a glass of ice for this?
No, it's fine. I'll just drink out of the can. It's cool.
Of course.
Really appreciate it, John. I really do.
Let's just hope it works out. They'll be here shortly, the others. Why don't we be comfortable?
Thanks.
Morning, gentlemen. No, this is Mr. Withers, the vice mayor. Nice to meet you. Mr. Friedman, our city controller. Dr. Rick Weber, Dr. Lesley Weber, and Mr. Parrish. Mr. Blackie.
Yeah.
Please, gentlemen, sit down.
Sorry we're late. We've been going over the figures relevant to this decision.
May I remind you, Mr. Mayor, we don't have much time. There's a transportation meeting, then I have the Board of Trade luncheon.
Yes, don't worry, Mr. Friedman. This won't take long.
Well, quite frankly, I don't see what decision we can come to here that we haven't already accomplished.
Well, then, suppose we get down to business. As you know, Mr. Weber, we have explored the question of the city taking over the funding of the sports center. Undoubtedly, it would present a number of financial problems, and we already face a number of those. With that in mind, gentlemen, and since the decision rests in our hands, I thought we should hear from the man who founded the sports center.
With the help from the city and from the people in this city, the sports center has become a vital part of this community. Now, I could give you gentlemen a lot of statistics and facts and history, but that in no way would give you the human side, the feelings of the people that have been involved with the sports center, the young people, because that's what it was about from the very beginning. That's why I brought a young man with me, Blackie Parrish. I'd like you to just listen to him firsthand, because he's one of these people. He is a product of our sports center. Blackie, would you like to say a couple words?
I don't know what this...
You just say whatever you think, whatever you honestly feel that the sports center means to you. That's all.
Well, I'm not used to this. I
Now,
mean, I don't know.
please, go ahead, son.
Well, I ain't too good at making I'm not too good at making speeches or anything.
Believe me, we're interested in whatever you have to say, Blackie.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got nothing to lose except family, my friends, the sports center. That's funny, you know, the sports center, if it wasn't for the sports center, I wouldn't have my family and my friends. I mean, I was hurting. Like every kid on that waterfront was. I was hurting badly. The sports center changed my life. It's that simple, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you or anything. I mean, every kid down there needs the place. We can't give it up. We can't give it up. It changed me, it can change them. We need the place. I think every kid down there needs it. So you can't let them have it.
You said it all, Blackie.
You've won my vote.
We'll find the funds somewhere.
We got it?
Thank you. Thank you for your change of mind. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Pleasure.
Thank you. You've made a dream come true.
Most welcome.
We're as happy as you are.
Keep up your good work, Doctor.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been our pleasure. Thanks, really. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, if you'll excuse us?
Certainly. Thank you. Blackie.
John, there is no way that I can possibly thank you enough.
You should thank your wife and thank this young man. Have you ever thought of a career in politics? You're natural.
Well, I guess I just got it in me. I don't know.
Then again, I know you'll succeed at anything you do.
Thanks.
Hey, we have to celebrate. John, could you go out with us now?
I'd love to, but I'm afraid I'll have to take a rain check.
Oh, well, you remember, huh?
I'll remember.
Okay. You want to go with us?
No, there's someone I got to tell about this first. I'll see you. I did good.
You did great.
A fine young man.
Could be.
Well, you'll have to excuse me. But please, would you give my best to Luke?
Oh,
And tell him that I hope they work everything out.
thank you, John. He'll be very pleased to hear that you said that.
Thanks.
Blackie in politics?
Hey, it was not me. It was a team effort. However, my wife is more responsible than anybody else. Thank you, darling.
A great lady.
Yeah, but she gets nervous sometimes.
You make her nervous.
Shut up! You and Blackie do!
Shut. You see what I've had
That's
to put up
fine.
with,
I'll
don't
say,
you?
hey. That's enough. I think the two of you should take these dirty dishes out to the kitchen for Alice, okay?
You sound like her.
Her? Her happens to be the woman I love. She happens to be your mother. And someone that I am very proud of.
So there.
Well, I'll stick up for you. You were a good boy.
I'll help you with the dishes.
Oh, easy.
I have got to get to the hospital.
Hey, me too. I've extended my lunch hour as it is.
No. This is an occasion. The sports center is saved at last.
Not only is it safe, but it is now about to be in your hands, Super Knight. You got it. I have bowed out. You're in charge.
Thanks. Thanks a lot, Rick. I hope I deserve your faith and trust. Come on, Amy. I'll drive you to work.
Okay. Great lunch, Mrs. Grant. And it's so good to have you home.
You take care, Slugger.
Stay out of trouble.
Do they have to go to work?
Same way you have to go to school.
Now?
We promised your teacher that you would be there after lunch.
Hey, doggone it. I'll be here when you get out, okay?
You promise you won't go away again?
Yeah, I promise. And you know why?
Why?
Because I missed you too much.
I missed you too. I'm proud of Mom, Lesley. I love you.
I love you, too.
And I love you, Tucker.
Oh, he didn't forget me.
Oh.
Oh, you rascal. I love you, guy.
Here, get to work.
I would say, madam, that you have an entire household filled with admirers, but I want you to know one thing.
What?
The biggest admirer is right here.
Again?
Oh, yeah, well, sure. I think we better sit down over by the fire, don't you?
It's so good to have you back. I can't even tell you.
Can I tell you something?
Anything. Everything.
Lesley, I still can't quite believe what you did for the sports center. There were times, darling, that I thought you hated it.
Well, yeah, I did. A lot of the time. But only because I started to feel that you were married to it instead of to me.
I made you feel that way?
Mm-hmm. Even from Nevada. Do you realize that every time you called, the very first thing out of your mouth was, how are you doing with the sports center? Not how are you? Goodness, no. Not how's Mike, how's Amy, even how's Blackie doing would have made me feel that you at least were interested in us.
Lesley, I'm sorry. That must have hurt you a great deal.
A lot, yeah. Yeah, I started thinking, oh, well, he doesn't love me. He doesn't want to come back here. He doesn't care what's going on here. You know, dumb stuff like that.
That is not dumb stuff, and I'm sorry.
Well, it's not true, is it?
Of course it's not true. I had some kind of strange thoughts, though, I gotta tell you that.
Oh, dear, I don't think I'm ready for this.
Oh, no, it's nothing you could ever think of like that, and well, I didn't even realize what was kind of happening until the last couple of days myself. That's why I just had to come back now.
You said it was because Jeff didn't need you anymore.
Lesley, I think that I was beginning to use Jeff as an excuse.
I don't understand.
He was critical every day. There were days he was extremely critical. And I love him. He's my brother. And I wanted to be the one that saved his life. But there were other doctors there who were just as qualified as I was. And I think I was kind of forcing on myself a medical leave or a sabbatical because of the problems that I was having myself.
Well, if you told me that...
I didn't know myself. It was the sports center. Maybe that's the reason why I asked so much about it. I just wanted to be away from it, and yet I felt guilty about it. Lesley, Packy's death, and little Mike when he was running with Packy, and Jeff, everything just seemed so uncontrollable, so...
I know the feeling.
I had a lot of time out there to think. And it was kind of neat because I found out I wasn't a superhuman at all. It reminded me that I was very human, and not only could I not solve other people's problems, there were times I'd have difficulty dealing with my own. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Everything you went through, I went through myself. Honest, I'm afraid around here maybe Blackie got the worst of it, poor thing. I'm just so glad it wasn't me. I guess maybe we both needed to go through that, huh?
I don't know if we needed it, but evidently we made the most of it. And that gives us a whole fresh new start. No more problems with the sports center. I'm free.
Oh, sure, right. Well, I figure that'll last for 3-4 minutes. You'll find another cause. You'll get involved again, but it's okay. Because I realize that's got to be part of why I love you.
Well, that's great, because I just discovered a new cause. And, our marriage.
Oh, well, then.
You should have seen the look on Baldwin's face when I told him.
I'm certainly glad there are two of us working on
Hey,
this.
it's noon. Anyone save any lunch for me?
No, oh my gosh, Holly.
Holly, the bail hearing.
Yeah. Oh, please, God, just everything went all right.
Well, I'm sure it went okay. She's no more, what do you call it?
Accessory.
Yeah, she's no more an accessory than you and me are.
Thank you. You know, it must have come as an awful shock to her.
Yes, it must have. One minute she's free, the next minute it's, sorry, Miss Sutton, you have to go directly to jail, and there she is, with about as much chance of making bail as she has of jumping off this building and flying.
How is Luke ever going to raise $35,000?
It doesn't make any sense, Bobbie. She has done everything that she could to help the authorities. She came back here voluntarily. This is the kind of thanks that she gets for that.
I feel so sorry for her.
I feel sorry for Luke. He's so crazy about her. This must be making him crazy.
The thing is, there's nothing that any of us can do to help him.
I can't believe this isn't going to be straightened out soon.
Oh, if it's up to the district attorney, she's going to be thrown to the wolves. Holly is being persecuted, pure and simple. All Richardson cares about is making a name for himself. And if the elections weren't coming up, Holly would have been free.
You're absolutely right. I know that man. That's just the way he works.
Maybe none of this would have ever happened if Holly hadn't taken that money in the first place.
Step into my office. What was that all about?
I was interjecting my 2 cents, that's all.
Oh, good. At least we know what it's worth.
Thank you. I was saying what I honestly thought.
Did you have to say it in front of Bobbie? That was so thoughtless. You know how worried she is about her brother.
I didn't say anything about her brother.
The way he feels about Holly, the way he is devoting his life to protecting her right now, you say it about her, you say it about him. Now you know that.
Maybe it's time that Luke took care of his own life.
I'm not sure I follow that at all.
I mean, maybe we should all sit down and think this thing through a little more thoroughly than we have.
Well, maybe we should start with me, because I don't understand this change in attitude on your part at all.
What do you mean?
From the very beginning, you never said a bad word about Holly. All the time that I was so unsure, from the minute that Luke came out of his coma and talked to us about her, you were the one that was totally supportive.
Lesley, you do not upset a man just after he's come out of a coma.
What? Is that the reason for this sudden change in attitude, or what?
It is not sudden. When I was in Nevada, I had a lot of time to think. This is one of the things I thought about. I read a lot of stories, newspaper stories, about the swindle, and I talked to some people about her involvement in it.
So?
So I am not 100% sold on Holly Sutton. I have to question her motives and her relationship with Luke.
Luke is the person that knows her best. He totally believes in her. Shouldn't that be enough for us?
Not for me, not anymore.
What would it take to change your attitude?
Well, a lot more than I've seen so far.
Well, Lord, I wouldn't know what to do or say.
Lesley, ask yourself just one question.
Has my husband gone bananas?
Is Holly serious about her involvement, or is it an act to keep Luke and gain sympathy? Bye.
Oh, Bobbie, I'm so sorry about that.
Don't be. Everybody's entitled to his opinion.
Well, see, he's been so upset lately. He's had so many problems to deal with. He's so worried about his brother for a long time. I don't think he's really had time, you know, to think about all this. He will. He'll think about it,
And he'll probably say exactly the same thing, won't he?
probably.
Well, that's his privilege.
See, the thing about him, Bobbie, is that he has these really strong ideals.
So I see.
But the other thing about him is that he sticks to them, even if he's wrong.
No further complications, huh?
Steve, the prognosis is for complete recovery.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's good to
I
hear.
hope I'm not interrupting anything too important.
No, honey. Come on in. We were just talking about Jeff. Rick, I never did get around to telling you how grateful I am to you for all the help you've given Jeff's wife.
Steve, I was glad to do it.
Well, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't, because there was a point when I would have had to tie him down to keep him from hopping on a plane to Nevada.
Well, I still plan to visit Jeff. Maybe sometime after the first of the year, after the holidays. What are you thinking? Get a few days off?
Oh, I'd love it. But, of course, we do have Tommy here, and I hate to leave him alone too long.
Yeah, you're right about that. You know, after all the years of being a family man, you'd think I'd realize that you just can't jump and run off somewhere without considering the rest of the family.
Yeah, well, I know that. The sports center, et cetera, et cetera. No, I am determined this time to concentrate more on things here at the hospital and on spending time with my family.
Well, I'll go along with that. And I'll bet Lesley does, too.
Yeah, she's been under such pressure the past few months, and mainly because of me, and I didn't start things off very well today, either.
Oh, you two having a fight?
No, a disagreement about Holly Sutton.
What about Holly?
She's feeling sorry for her.
And you don't?
Steve, I don't know exactly what to feel, but there's no way at this point that I can give a blanket pardon for what she's done to the people of this city.
Oh, I should have put my coat on. It's freezing. Whoa. Don't you have to be back at the hospital?
Actually, I'm on split shift today, and I thought I would do some Christmas shopping while the stores are still open before Mikey gets home.
Uh-huh. Going to beat the old crunch, eh?
Yeah, right. Fat chance. I do that every year, and every year I run around like a fool on Christmas Eve doing shopping.
Well, don't change it. Goodness, it's a tradition. Hi. What are you doing here? It's your day off.
Well, I could use a little sympathy.
Okay, fine. I have many different brands. Which kind were you requiring, madam?
Well, I kind of want to talk to you about Susan. I don't know what to do, and I sure was hoping you'd be home today.
Oh, something wrong? Amy, you're right. Christmas is just around the corner. Go shopping.
Oh, I still got some time.
Suddenly you have all the time in the world. Amy, go shopping.
I'm going.
Oh, come sit down over here. Okay, what happened with Susan? What's wrong?
I don't know what to do with her. I just came from Dino's, and she and Heather and I were having lunch together.
That sounds nice.
Oh, it was in the beginning, and then Scotty came in.
Did he make a scene?
Well, not exactly.
Alice, what happened?
Well, he was with his secretary, and he was being very attentive to her.
And? Susan got upset.
She hit the ceiling. And pretty soon she was ordering double martinis, and she was swearing at him and everything. It was awful.
I thought she was on the wagon.
She was. I mean, she saw Scotty snuggling with the secretary, and she went off. I don't know what to do.
Do you think that Heather had anything to do with this?
She claims that she really cares about Susan, and she claims that the only thing that matters to her is to keep our little family close. She thinks that Scotty is using Susan.
Do you believe her?
Now, I don't think that she cares that much about Susan. She puts on a really good show in public places.
Do you think she's right about Scotty?
I just don't feel that I can trust that man. Well, I really do appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
Oh, I wish I could have done something.
Ah, you were wonderful. And listen, I know that you won't discuss it because I really hate to have it talked around.
Absolutely not, Alice. What you have just said will not go beyond these walls. Isn't that so, Amy?
Well, I don't know. I didn't hear what you guys were saying.
Oh, that's good, because then you won't be able to repeat it, will you? Hmm?
Well, I wouldn't, even if I had heard.
Isn't that nice? Because you do seem to have this remarkable quality of being able to overhear things even when you're not trying.
Well, not this time.
I'll take your word for that.
Well, if you two would please excuse me, I have things I have to go and do.
Wait a second. Isn't your break just about over?
What time is it?
Time for you to go back to work. I sure hope it was worth it.
What, worth what?
Giving up a chance to go shopping so you could stay here and eavesdrop on us. Hello to you, too.
I've got to be running along. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Hey, go to work with your mouth shut.
I'm on my way. So what's wrong with you?
What's it to you?
I'm just trying to be nice here. You seem like you were a little bit down, so I thought I would come over and talk to you, cheer you up a little bit.
Want to do something for me?
What?
Strangle Scotty Ball.
What do you do now?
Hey, steal my girl. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, and I hear he's doing a really good job of it, too.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing? What'd you hear?
Nothing. I just heard Mrs. Grant talking to Lesley, that's all, and she said that Laura and Scotty were having lunch at Dino's and getting very comfortable.
That's no big deal.
Yeah, well, that's not what Susan thought. Apparently it upset her so much she started hitting the bottle again.
Oh, and that's supposed to be news, Amy? Huh?
Well, no, but apparently Laura and Scotty are quite an item.
They were just having dinner together, all right?
I'm only telling you what I heard.
Well, what do you know about it?
Obviously a lot more than you do.
Oh, why don't you shut up, Amy? Leave me alone. You always bug me, man.
Just think it's kind of funny, you know, that, oh, I'm not the only one in this house that got dumped, huh? Face it, Paris. She dumped
you. Did not dump me.
Hey, what's going on here?
What happened? He just tried to knock me down.
Oh, if I tried to knock you down, you'd still be on the ground.
Yeah, you would be in big trouble.
Well, she asked for it, man.
I did not.
You decided to take the law in your own hands,
Wait
right?
Wait a minute. What did you do to provoke it?
Nothing.
Oh, she was saying stuff about Laura. She was saying lies and stuff like that.
They were not lies either. I only told the truth. And you know what, Paris? You really deserve it.
Amy!
Blackie!
When will you be back?
Do you suppose that means we shouldn't wait dinner?
I still don't understand what the whole thing was about.
Join the club. Well, so much for your happy homecoming.
That's all right. I don't mind.
I mind. It's been going on for months.
I know it's been very tough on you, hasn't it?
I really thought once you got back, everything would get better.
Hey, it will. And I'll see to that, I guarantee you.
Doing a hell of a job so far.
Lesley, this is just part of a normal family life. I mean, they're rocky roads, right? But it's worth it.
Gee, I wouldn't know. I guess you're the expert here.
Oh, come on.
No, I love it. I really just love it. You go away from here for weeks, for months. You don't even bother asking. You don't want to know how anything is around here, and then you waltz back in and proceed to tell me what families are like and how one should emotionally deal with them. How would you know?
Hey, that's what I'm counting on you for. So you can catch me up.
It's not that easy.
It'll work, Lesley. It will work. work. I give you my word on that, okay? We've been very fortunate. You look at the things.
Could have fooled me, boy.
We could have had something happen to us like Jeff and Carolyn.
That's different.
That's different. That is much worse. We've got each other. We're together. And we have our health. I wouldn't trade that for anything.
I know you're right. It's just not easy sometimes, you know, especially when you're alone.
That's a thing of the past coming up. Sorry.
Oh, and you're right about something else. We are lucky. I know that.
I'm a lot luckier than you are.
Why?
Because I have you.
Oh, you've been practicing.
Well, I have a lot of time to make up for. I do.
You're doing just fine. Don't stop now.
I didn't intend to stop because I do have an apology to make.
For?
For this morning, I came on too hot and too heavy about Holly. I really did.
It's okay.
No, it's not. I should never have said anything like that in front of Bobbie, and I apologize. Will you forgive me, please? Hey.
Yes. You probably didn't even have to ask that.
Yes, I did, because I missed you a great deal, and I'm sorry.
Oh, do you know what I missed? Having a man around the house who admits when he's wrong.
Well, I guess you didn't miss me then, huh?
No, but you'll do till he gets back.